心安しなくの奴らは何をして。地下室から叫んだら喉を切り裂く。力弱すぎておばあちゃんかと思ったわ。あんたがまさか私に投げ飛ばされるとはね、兄。とにかく地下室だ。拘束しないと町がまた。誰か。無駄だよ。切り傷を入れてある。いつでも巨人化できる。
This kind of makes me feel like, imagine, you know, you get people that strap bombs to their chest and they're willing to sacrifice themselves. In this case, she doesn't have to sacrifice herself, but imagine being the person dealing with someone threatening to blow the town up, because that's essentially what she's doing here. But imagine how much stress that must put on you. Like, I can't imagine. If someone is threatening me, do what I say or I will blow myself up and this whole mall or whatever there. I don't know. But this would be such a... The whole place is... Survival is technically riding on a hitch here. I hope that doesn't, because that didn't happen during the first few scenes, so I hope that that's just like an opening song glitch. Let me just write down the title.
地下室であんたの顔を眺める仕事から解放されるし。それはよかった。これでようやく終わるのね。あんたのくだらない男の愚痴を聞かされるの。
She heard everything!
でそのことまさかあんたずっと意識があったの。そして突然私は外に放り出され、エレンの声を聞いた。国境を越えれば戦闘員も民間人も区別なく殺していいと教わった。私たちエルディア人の食材と世界を救う使命のため、全ての行いは正当化された。界を救うとかどうでもよかった。はあ、全てがどうでもよかった。私は生まれて間もない時に親に捨てられた。あんな私を収容所で引き取ったのは外国。男の目的は私をマーレの戦士に鍛え上げて自分の生活を豊かにすることだった。私は物心つく前から男の生まれた国の格闘術を叩き込まれた。男にとって私は戦士になれるかどうかの価値しかなかった。私は男が望んだように強くなり、そうなるまでに痛めつけられた分を男に返した。二度とまともに歩けない体にしてやった。けど男は喜んだ。これなら武器がなくても敵を殺せるって。私はどうなってもよかった。この国の何人が死のうが生きようが、自分を含めて命というものに価値があるとは思えなかった。
How about now?
は膝をついて私に謝った。教えたことは全て間違っていたと。そして泣きながら懇願した。帰ってきてくれと。戦士隊の地位も名誉マーレ人の称号も全て捨てていいから帰ってきてくれと。男は私の父親だった。私を自分の娘だと思っていた。私には 帰りを待つ父親がいる。でもあんたの父親のもとに帰っても瓦礫と死体しかないと。
How did it feel like seeing the corpses you guys stomped? Around here when she was talking about this.
あんたたちの大層な目的のために踏み潰された人々の死体を見てどう思う？
For your oh so grand goal. This made me think because she's asking Annie, who, you know, actually did these things and had, at least Hitch thought she had a goal in mind, which apparently at the time she didn't have a goal. But now she says that she would do the same thing if it was to get back to her father. So it doesn't really matter if she didn't care why she did those things back then, because she still did them and she would do them again. Except now her goal is just, you know, to get back to her father, who's an honorary Marleyan because of her being a warrior, because he trained her. But he came from overseas, so that kind of confuses me. Like, he's an Eldian, but he came from overseas. Like, I'm a little bit unsure, because I feel like I've been under the impression that it was either you're in Paradis or in Marley. But I guess, like, there are other Eldians in other places of the world. Because, well, there was a time when Eldians were trying to conquer the world, right? So it would make sense that there would be more than just Marley and Paradis Eldians. But I don't think I ever sat down and thought about that or knew about that. But when you said the oh so grand goal, it made me think of a lot of viewers that also justify all these deaths and things for some or another oh so grand goal. And I watched an episode of, well, 3 episodes of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood yesterday, which kind of like, there was a quote. Let me just show it to you. The pain that accompanies this change cannot be avoided. Like, many people argue like that all these deaths are necessary for this goal. And then I just really like this quote from Olivia, Captain General Sergeant, I don't know, Armstrong. She said, "Folks like you who watch the battlefield from the comfort of a safety zone make pain out to be something lofty and exploit it." So it just made me feel like how easy it is from our perspective. You know, many of us are from a country where there's not impending doom. Like, there's no soldiers or titans or war happening, like, right on our doorstep, probably. I mean, those of us watching right now. And yet we talk about these things as if we can understand how would it, because we're not on the battlefield. So, like, but I try my best to be aware of that. That's why I make all my arguments as if I'm just a mom with her kids somewhere in a town that isn't involved, because that's how I am right now. I am not involved in these things. So all I can do is talk about how I feel as a civilian. I don't have kids now, but I want kids. I can just, how would I feel here? But so I'm just trying to talk from that perspective. And she says that too. You watch the battlefield, and from the comfort of a safety zone, you make pain out to be something lofty and exploited. Like this guy who says, the pain that accompanies this change cannot be avoided. So they talk about this pain as if, you know, just like those guys in the beginning of the episode, where they said, a few sacrifices is nothing, and the goal is bigger than this, and da-da-da. And I mean, they're right there, so they're allowed to have their opinion, but it's more difficult for us when we're not the ones being smooshed. It's so easy to justify deaths and shit when it's not you dying, or it's not your children. So I just found this episode. It was episode 50, 50, no? 50, 51, and 52, I think, of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. And there was some really great episodes. And I'm sure most of you have already watched it, but if you haven't, I would recommend it. Okay, now continue. Break over. So that's Annie's father, right? So her mother and father are, her biological mother and father are Marlians, and she cheated with an Eldian, so she's like half.
分かった。約束する。アルミ、私はどうしたらいいの？ジャンの手助けをしなよ。少しは自分で考えて。エレンのことどうするの？わからないよ。それにどうしようもないだろ。ハンジさんと兵長は殺されたかもしれないし、フロックたちが僕らにも銃口を向けるかもしれない。それに兄が復活したかもしれない。もう兵団の指揮系統は機能してない。無秩序だ。そう、ヒストリアも危険になるかもしれない。義勇兵やアズマ人、ニコロの立場も危ういことになる。だからもうどうしようもないエレンのことなんか考える余裕はないよ。それくらいわかるだろ。答えが出た。生き返るべきだったの僕じゃなかった。
I actually talked about that to some friends recently, and I still believe that it was the right choice to make to give him another chance at life, because I believe that Erwin was like mentally, physically just done. He didn't want to come back. So I still feel like Armin had the potential to be the next Erwin, only in terms of like he can only be himself, but he was always the one that came up with these amazing plans, right? And in that sense, I mean, he could have been the next Erwin, like this strategy and plans and, you know, I don't know how to say it, but I'm not saying he should have been Erwin. I'm just saying that they were both such smart people. I believe that Armin had the potential, but I don't know what he has done since then. I honestly don't know. So I get where he's coming from, and I get where people are coming from that think Erwin should have been brought back, but I feel like at that moment, I still believe the best decision was to bring Armin back, because he had potential. But I just feel like maybe, I don't know, he didn't live up to that potential. I'm not sure, but who's to say what can still come? I still think it was the right decision to bring him back, because I still believe that Erwin was just spiritually, emotionally, physically, mentally done. That man was just done. As much as I love him as a character. But I feel where Armin is coming from, but he might be putting too much pressure on himself, and that's why he couldn't think. You know, sometimes if you put too much pressure on yourself, it's more difficult to come up with the kind of things that you used to come up with when there was less pressure. So maybe now that he's given up and resigned to the fact that, well, I shouldn't be alive right now, maybe now he will come up with something. I don't know. That is such a good family. Holy crap. Like,
元気でね。私の本当の名前ガビっていう。ガビって変。ミヤの方がいいよ。は？じゃあね、さよなら、ガビ。
and this is why people say that the hope lies in the youth, because unlike us old peoples, the youth can forgive and relearn. I'm not saying that it's impossible for older people to do so, but it's so much easier for children to let go of grudges and to learn new things and to forgive and to replace beliefs that were embedded into them by corrupted grown-ups. So this is really nice to see.
フロックやめろ。牛だ。落ち着けよ、じゃあ。分からせただけだ。彼はまだ状況を理解してなかった。だがこれで伝わっただろう。口の聞き方を間違えたらどうなるのか。みんな。一体誰がお前にお山の大将を気取ってほしいと頼んだ。よく聞いてくれたな、ジャン。みんな。
I can see why some people love this guy so much. It's people who they want to impose their will on others. No one's allowed to think differently or speak in a certain way to them. So this guy inspires them because they too want to shoot people for thinking differently or speaking to them in the wrong way. Like, it's fun to see yourself try to kind of look at the character and be like, oh, I wish I could do that. I'm kidding.
俺は10ヶ月前、エレンから今回の計画を聞いた。ジークを利用し、始祖の力をエレンが掌握する計画だ。俺は仲間を集め、エレンの手助けをし、計画は今日達成された。お前たち義勇兵は指導者を失った。味方をしてくれる兵団の後ろ盾もな。そしてお前たちは故郷をも失う。地ならしによって全ては巨大な足跡の下だ。 お前たち義勇兵がこの島に来た動機である故郷の復興の夢も失う。それでもこの島でエルディア帝国のために力を貸してくれる者がいるなら、それでもこの島でエルディア帝国のために力を貸してくれる者がいるなら声を上げよう。我々は歓迎し、エルディア人として迎える。
I'll just write this down and talk about it in my review. Yeah, that's the future of Eldia.
義勇兵の誇りを貫いた。でも誇りに死ぬことはない。いいじゃないか、屈したって。
Oh, well then why didn't Eldians just submit to the rest of the world and die as proud Eldians? Like, this man's whole, he is exactly what he hates about the world. Eldians should have just submitted. They're monsters, so they must just submit to our power over them because they're scary and we're not. Oh my god. What is so bad about submitting? Wow.
したってこんな死に方するより生きてた方が。考える時間を与えよう。みんなもローへ。ほっ。こ
れはじゃあ何が。
さっきの質問だが、俺はエレンの代弁者。エレンが島の外の問題を完全解決するなら、俺も島の中の遺恨を完全に消し去る。
Wipe away resentment. Dude, you are making it so much worse. You are like making it faster and become disgusting and toxic. topic? Toxic topic. Even if Eldia rebuilds itself with the brethren, those people are gonna resent you. Oh, but I forgot, then you're just gonna kill them. Anyone who disagrees with you, kill them. Any Eldians who disagree with you, kill them. Because that's the world we want to live in. Oh my god, there's so much I want to say, but...
You. なんじゃお前は憲兵になって内地で快適に暮らしたかったんだろ。そうしろよ。お前は英雄の一人なんだから。終わった。だからもう昔のジャンに戻れよ。いい加減でムカつく生意気な野郎に。なんだとお前。
フロック、リヴァイ兵士長とハンジ団長はどうしたの？
ああ、残念ながらジークに殺された。
I wonder if any of those of the people, the volunteers, I wonder if any of them is regretting turning on Marley, and now they're feeling like, oh no, the world was right about the Eldians. Now that what they're seeing here, I mean, that's the look is their example here.
あの進路と速度から考えると、撤退戦はあのままマーレに戻るようですね。地ならしの発動を見て、我々マーレ軍の生存を絶望視したのでしょうか。
いや、賢明だ。これでいち早く本国に事態を知らせることができる。あれに踏み潰されるまで待つよりずっといい。
しかし、もうこれではなす術がありません。あれを止める策は何か終わりでしょうか。
ない。ただ最後までみっともなくもがくまでだ。
よっほー。
ちょっと待って。とりあえず食べないで。こちらには何の武器もありません。
Oh, that was so creepy! Wait, I want to see it again.
ない。
Oh my god, imagine you see that in real life. This fucking monster thing with the mouth just going at you. Oh no.
最後までみっともなくもがくまでだ。
ちょっと待って。とりあえず食べないで。こちらには何の武器もありません。え？あっちに誰かいる？ご安心ください。あれは人畜無害の死に損ないです。進軍する巨人の軍勢、やがて何も知らぬ人々を踏み潰すそれを見上げ。
Wait. The marching army of Titans in the face of such a massive threat that will trample their whole world. Will people just freeze, or will they stand up?
立ち上がるのか。次回、教授。
Pride. All the peoples, the youth can forgive and relearn. All the peoples, the youth can forgive and relearn